The Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Update 2 patches here, and this will be a quick video talking about all of the major changes when it came to the update patch 2. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now, the character select was the first thing that's actually mentioned here in this change, and they changed it a lot. You could see that now you can list character select in order of character appearance. This is the second option, and when you do it like this too, the transformations disappear from character select. They now only appear when you click on a character who possesses the transformation. I think this is a much cleaner way of doing character select. It makes things way easier to remember, because all you have to do is go, oh, where is Cell in the character select? He would just be after Frieza. Where's the Ginyu Force? They're just behind Frieza. You know, it makes the character select also shorter, so it makes it faster to go through character select and just look for whichever character you're trying to find. If you want to see a multi-stage for any character, you could just click on them and then pick the stage. I think this is a much nicer, cleaner, and honestly, it's just way cooler in general, right? I just love seeing like giant versions of the character select, like when you pick like DBZ Goku or when you pick DBS Goku and Vegeta, they have like massive screens for their character select because it shows all of their forms and then all of the fusions and then all of the fusions forms. It's just like a 10 out of 10. Another great feature they added was actually the ability to have team presets. This obviously makes it way more easier and way better if you're making a team. Usually when you get into a ranked match, if you wanted to try a different team, it'd be a nightmare trying to swap to like a new team before the 40-second time runs out, because admittedly, going through character select used to be kind of long. Now it's obviously going to be a lot easier because we have the new listing feature, but you can just make like a preset team now. So if you're like, oh hey, I want to play my team that has Goku as the lead, or maybe I want to play my team that has Vegeta as the lead, or I want to play my Giants only team, you don't have to individually select all the slots now. You can just pick the characters for it and then just make a team for it, and you can only have a slot of like 5 teams, to be fair, which is quite small. I do wish it was something bigger like 10, because I can imagine myself playing way more than 5 teams, but having teams nonetheless is better, and we know that they're probably going to expand this just like every other feature in the game as the game is out. Keep in mind, we are still waiting for lots of character customizations that have been promised to us, so I think they'll add more teams as well as all these other cooler features in the future. You can actually see what teams the enemy is selecting now. You can actually see that, yes, there's a warning right there saying you're hiding your team from your opponent, you're revealing your team to your opponent. Now, my enemy was hiding his team from me, but you can just choose to show whether, you know, what characters you're playing or not, and I think that's a cool feature. I think most people have it off because obviously they don't want you to see that they are playing like Bardock and all these other characters that you expect them to play, but I think it's a really cool feature nonetheless that both like teams can see each other's characters, because if I see someone pick like Vegeta, I'm picking Goku. If I see someone pick like Frieza, I'm picking Cooler. You know, you can like pick the rival character just to like flex, just to be like kind of cool like that, you know? If someone picks Gogeta, you have to pick Vegeta, vice versa, all that kind of cool stuff. One of the best features actually is that you can skip intros now. You can see that I immediately tried to skip my intro. I press skip right there and it tells the other person, hey, this guy skipped his intro. And then he's like, okay, yeah, cool, I agree. He also skipped his intro. And you can see it right here, but I'm using the new camera feature. There's a camera feature that gets you much closer to the action than the previous one we've had the entire time. And I think this camera feature is cool. My only issue with it is, yeah, it makes it kind of hard to react to vanishes when you have less of the screen available to you. Another cool feature is that they've changed a lot of the way like combat systems in this game work. They've changed a lot of stuff with Ki Blast. They added new invulnerability steps. They've added just a bunch of stuff in general, and one of the major things was After Image Strike. As you can see here, After Image Strike, it's still a very good skill. It lasts 5 less seconds than it used to before, but After Image Strike in general is just an amazing skill. You can use it whenever you want, and you will just evade damage for free for 10 seconds. It did get nerfed by 5 seconds. That's not the most, but it goes a long way when you consider that the person is invincible the entire time. And the big change to After Image Strike is that it actually ends immediately if you do a perception. So you'll see that next time Vegito activates After Image Strike, you'll know because he starts saying, enough, while dodging every single attack, right? That's how you know After Image Strike is on, and he can just evade everything. So yeah, After Image Strike is on now. He says enough. He literally just turned it on. It has not been 10 seconds yet. I do a perception, and even just this, even though he revenge countered it right away, he now no longer has After Image. You can see that I can hit him completely fine, and the AI is now responding with revenge counters because it knows it doesn't have an automatic dodge to back it up. So yeah, you can immediately stop After Image Strike by just doing perception. This change is so big that I've done like maybe like 20 matches of Sparking Zero. They've all been my best matches of Sparking Zero, by the way. I've done like 20 matches of Sparking Zero, and not once did anyone use After Image Strike. I didn't see one Videl. I just haven't seen After Image Strike in like 20 matches, which is insane because you literally couldn't escape it before. But now, it's got such a crippling weakness to it that people are not willing to use it anymore. And I think that's very good, since this move was a huge plague on the game. It just made the game way less fun to play. So yeah, Vegeta uses After Image Strike here. I go, okay, it's time to just use a Perception, and I just hold Perception down. It works even with Sonic Sway. Any kind of Perception immediately stops After Image Strike. And I get a big combo here, and this big combo actually lets me flex the boost mechanic, because they buffed boost in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. It will now do a lot more damage when you put that one extra key bar into any of your super attacks. So I was still able to get 20k damage despite doing a really long combo. And Evolution Blue also got buffed massively too, but I'll be making a separate video on that, because they made buff skills in general in this game way better, and because Evolution Blue is a buff skill, and that Vegeta has a second buff skill he can stack on top of that, he is just a complete demon now. Another great gameplay change they've done is that a lot of super attacks and most Ki Blast ultimate attacks are a lot slower. Now in this clip here, I do a short combo to Gogeta just to get my ultimate attack ready, and look how much longer it takes for the Spirit Bomb to actually come out when it's complete. Now the projectile is still the same speed, but the startup for the projectile moving is a lot longer. You can see that was a good break before I could throw that Spirit Bomb out. And this might sound like it's a bad change because less ultimate attacks are going to hit, but this has actually completely killed ultimate attack spam. Here's a clip of someone else trying to hit me with a Super Spirit Bomb, and I'm able to easily avoid it. That Spirit Bomb was actually much faster than my own Spirit Bomb, yet I was able to easily avoid it just by, seeing the move and just dodging it. This should make way less Beerus's and even DBZ Broly's feel like wanting to spam ultimate attacks on you, since their moves are going to be so telegraphed now and allow you to easily avoid it. It's going to actually make people use ultimate attacks in combos and not just randomly go, I'm going to throw it out now so that way I can get a boatload of damage. I mean, people will still do that because the benefit of landing an ultimate attack, it's just an immense, but it actually gives players a fighting chance now. If you see someone go for a raw ultimate, you have a good chance of avoiding it and then punishing them really hard, like I did to that Goku at the end of the clip. Even Vanish Walls are just way more enjoyable to do now because they actually get faster as they go on and they use up even more ki. So it's not going to just come down to whoever wins the Vanish Wall, whoever wins the whole match, because it's not going to just give you a bunch of ki and skill counter at the end. It's really quick and really hard to do now. It's so tough to do now. Even I struggle to win Vanish Walls a lot of the time now. So yeah, I'm very glad to see that most of the game won't be spent just doing Vanishes for like at least 3 minutes. And then the match always goes to a timeout. That's just really refreshing to see. It makes punishing people after a Vanish even more important now because it's harder to do, so you can actually take the risk of going fully all in and just finishing that combo. There's many more changes in general, but these are the main ones I wanted to cover because there's a lot of changes like changing text in custom battle modes to be alphabetically ordered. I think that's one of the best changes, but like no one plays custom battle mode, so I'm not going to spend a significant amount of the video talking about that. But when it comes to the core gameplay changes, Sparking Zero feels way different. Ki Blast spam has gone all the way down. You don't see people trying to go instant sparking anymore because it's way too costly. I haven't seen one Kefla or Z Broly. That used to be impossible. I never saw one person use After Image Strike. It's just completely different now. You won't even see people try and bait like super counters and try and extend Z counters as long as they can because no one wants to take the risk of messing up because it's way harder to do now and uses up so much ki and you don't get like any skill counter back for doing it. So I love this. This is the way the game should have been like when it came out. But admittedly, a lot of these issues could only be addressed with the game being out for a significant amount of time. So I don't want to sound like a shill, but the game is only this good now because they were able to see the problems back then. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, let me know what your favorite changes in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero Update version 2, and that will be it. I love you all, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Take care and peace, fellas.